Imagine this, you're deep in the wilderness, the perfect spot for hunting. You raise your rifle and you take aim at an elk, pull the trigger, and then your bullet stops mid-air and falls silently to the ground. Sounds impossible, right? But for Carl Higdon, what came next will be even more mind-bending. An alien encounter with humanoid beings, a teleportation to another world, and the discovery that left him shaking. Humans held captive on an alien planet. Why was he brought there, and why was he sent back? This is Carl Higdon's story. A story so strange it raises chilling questions about why aliens are visiting us and what they're really after. Because what you're about to hear, you may not believe it. Welcome to Truth versus Authority. I'm Roderick Martin, aka the Symbolizer, TV personality, UFO investigator, award-winning podcast host, backed by Truth Seekers, streaming right here on YouTube and reaching thousands of podcast listeners across 126 countries worldwide. Thank you for all the love and support. I'll keep bringing the truth. Get ready, because what you're about to hear, you may not believe it. Let me take you back to October 25th, 1974, Medicine Bow National Forest, Wyoming. A day that started like any other day for Carl Higdon, but ended with events that defy logic. Carl Higdon, an oil driller, set off to hunt elk in a crisp Wyoming wilderness. Now, around 4 p.m., he spotted the perfect target, a massive bull elk. But when he pulled the trigger, the bullets floated out the barrel, moving in slow motion before falling to the ground. The forest turned eerily silent, and then Carl saw it. A figure approaching, not human, not an animal, something else entirely. This was no hunter. What Carl described was something unearthly, and what happens next would redefine terror. What did Carl see? And why does his description raise more questions than answers? The being stood 6 feet tall, humanoid but insect-like, with sickly yellow skin, small beady eyes, antennas for ears. Its chinless face seemed to taper into his throat. Dressed in black, one-piece suit with a metallic belt, the figure silently handed Carl a strange pills that calmed his fear. Behind it, a hovering 6-foot metallic cube that defied explanation. Now, before Carl could react, he was inside the cube. 5 elk trapped into a compartment stared back at him, alive but frozen. This wasn't just an abduction. Carl was a subject, and soon he realized why he was taken back. What Carl experienced inside the cube is where the story turns a little bit chilling. Carl was placed into a chair wired to this strange machinery that fitted him with this helmet. He described the feeling that his thoughts had been scanned. Moments later, he was on the alien's home planet, sterile, silent, bathed in blinding light. But it wasn't empty. Carl saw other humans, men, women, children, and walking aimlessly. Were they prisoners? Were they test subjects? He couldn't even communicate with them either. Now here's the other part. The alien, who Carl later named Aussie-1, revealed a critical detail. Carl's vasectomy had rendered him unsuitable for their purpose. The implication was horrifying. This wasn't random. It was deliberate, and it points to something more sinister than we dare to imagine. If Carl Higdon's story was true, it changes everything we think we know about alien encounters. Carl's rejection suggests a chilling possibility. These beings are harvesting humans for genetic purposes. Abduction stories often share unsettling similarities like medical procedures, reproductive interference, hybridization. Are these experiments about preserving their species, creating hybrids, or something darker? What if Carl's story represents just one instance? What if countless others, those who met the requirements, was never returned? This isn't just a strange encounter. It's part of a larger, more disturbing puzzle, and the pieces are falling into place. Now, Carl's story forces us to confront an unsettling question. Do we really want to know the truth? Humans on an alien planet, genetic experience? What if the purpose is far more sinister than we can comprehend? Now, I know knowledge is power, but at what cost? If Carl's story is true, uncovering the truth could unleash a chaos of fear, And are we prepared to face what it means to be seen as a resource, nothing more than test subjects? But if we don't ask the question, how could we ever understand what's really happening? So how does Carl's story fit into a larger pattern, and what might that they reveal? Reports of glowing lights in Medicine Bow Forest coincided with Carl's encounter. His slow motion bullet, a breach in the laws of physics. The rejection due to his vasectomy ties his story to countless of others involving reproductive interference. Taken together, these details suggest an organized, systematic program, not random events. But does this pattern suggest intention, or are we just grasping at coincidence in the dark? Let's assume that Carl's experience isn't isolated. What does that mean for humanity? If the beings are experiment with human reproduction, what's their end game? Survival, control, replacement? Carl describes seeing humans on the alien planet, people who didn't seem to notice him. Were they abductees or something worse? What if digging deeper opens doors that we're unprepared to face? Do we have the courage to confront the implications of Carl's story, or should we just leave it alone untouched? The answers could change everything we know about ourselves and the future. One thing's for certain, Carl Higdon's story leaves us with more questions than answers, but it's part of something bigger. What if his encounter is one thread in a much larger tapestry? What if the stories we dismiss as impossible are the very keys to unlocking a hidden truth? This is why the unreported exists, to unearth what others overlook and challenge what we think we know. But this isn't only the beginning. Stay tuned, because the truth isn't just out there, it's waiting to be found. Look at this. Water, simple, ordinary. But what if I told you it holds power to transform your life? Dr. Masaru Emoto proved it. Your thoughts and intentions can alter the very structure of water. Imagine turning this truth into a daily practice. Introducing the Vibrational Codes. These codes, combined with ancient sacred geometry, chakra alignment, and positive affirmation to infuse in your water, your food, even your spaces with the energy of love, prosperity, and healing. It's not magic, it's science meeting intention. The energy you need is already within you. Vibrational energy codes will help you unlock it. Download it now and start shaping your reality with the power of intention. Ready to awaken?